Hello, everyone. Well, I've gotten a lot of work done. I have, I have just cleaned up around. I've done laundry and stuff, so my laundry's done and put away, and I'm cooked a nice meat meal for Sunday, and now it's time for this. So anyway, I'm enjoying, my time, and I also have an adult drink that I will be enjoying and talking with you guys. And I've been blowing my nose and got a summer cold. So at least at home you are safe and you don't have to be looking at. Uh, well, and I need to do something with that TV. Anyway, put a thumbs up. Go over here, and feel free to talk. We are, yeah, it's more or less like. You know, I mean, I was thinking of doing some ghost hunting, but I need to find some friends who would want to go with me who are kind of weird. Maybe you can give them a couple joints and they'll just go and do whatever and you can videotape and then be good. That's what I'm looking for. Some friends who wouldn't mind. So, let's go hunting over here. Woo! Boy, my boobs look really good today. Anyway, feel free to sit here, talk over here. We're talking about ghost hunting or whatever you really want to talk about. Are you having a problem with your relationship? Are you married to a Ken or a Karen? Is your every time you go out somewhere, you got to text them every move you make? I'm in the toilet taking a poo. Okay. So if you're having to deal with some relationship issues, bring it here. We'll talk about it. And if there's more than one person, we can also, like use different minds to work things out. So when you have that going on, you know, it helps a bit. So I have ordered my vitamins. I usually do mine at the end of the month because the beginning of the month I'm broke as hell. I can't afford anything. And sometimes it's like come to the point I can barely afford food. I have to pay my insurance and my insurance and where I keep my stuff, which they keep raising it $10 each year. So I'm thinking of looking for another place because it's getting to it was $100, now it's 110, now they want 120, and I'm like, wow, it's not like I'm getting a bigger place or anything. They just keep adding $10 more at Wimpy's storage, so it's like, okay. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. Oh, I gotta change things. So anyway, yeah, so today I ended up finishing up my cleaning. I had to redo. I put on my coat instead of buttons. I have Velcro. I have and I got Velcro. I'm like with Velcro on my coat. I'm like so excited. Well, I'll show you. You know, I fixed my stuff up on my lab coat because it was, you know, just getting. What happened was I washed it on a Sunday instead of a Saturday because my son's been taking over the thing. So I finally bitched him out and said, "Look, dude, I got shit that I need to be washed, and the stuff has to cure. You know, when you put this stuff on, you don't iron it on or anything. What you do is it sits and it cures for 24 hours, and it didn't get 24 hours to cure. So, yeah, should have done that before going on here. Anyway, so I got that done yesterday and some other things. I've been just, you know, puttering around here because I've been not feeling too good. I've been sneezing a lot. Now I've got a cold. I'm like, ugh. Yesterday I kind of felt icky and I just went out, you know, I had to pick up some groceries. There's no way around it. And I had to get a prepaid card so I can buy my vitamins because I really needed them. I take a certain kind of vitamins that help me keep my shit together. Not something bad mentally, it just helps me, you know, how can I say, if I want to be chill and stuff, I take those vitamins to keep me in a good frame of mind, you know? So don't forget about putting a thumbs up. It does help with the algorithm. So if you help with the thumbs up, it helps with the algorithm. So yeah, I'm like so excited. I love this is like the cutest thing. And I know it's not like the pickle, but believe it or not, it's $7 cheaper than the pickle was. I'm like, oh hell. So good. So I'm smoking blueberry. It's something I found in my stash. It's very old, but it smokes very good. Very good blueberry. So I haven't had it in a while and it's been like, wow, blueberry. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I'm enjoying that. I found is this from my Viking lineage? Yeah, I actually have, and it's stated in the when I did my DNA that I got Viking lineage, and yep, you got it. It's me. So I bought something a while back from Amazon on the Viking thing, but it is really like heavy, you know. You're welcome to chat over here and talk a bit. I myself thought to myself, I would put together my head and brain. Uh, mhm, yeah, I'm. I guess you could say that I'm in love with myself. I'm trying to pour into myself. So I don't see no man calling me up, you know, trying to get with me, trying to get him, spend time with me, you know. So when you get that, you know, it's a good thing. That's how you know when a man wants you know. That's delicious. So mainly, if you're going to be going ghost hunting, another thing, this is why I tell people when you do it in the house, if they have their power source, their main source, say it's in the basement, They got a small basement out here, and the girl is sleeping right where the power source is at. That means her head is right there, and it's near the power source. And what can happen is a lot of people are very, they can feel that, and it might make them feel dizzy. It might make them feel sleepy. It might make them see things that aren't there. So, what you might want to do if you're underneath the huge power source, change your bed where it's at. Move it around, change the bedding where it's at, and then I'll guarantee it, you will be sleeping a lot better. You don't want to be underneath a power source that is causing you, in some cases, to have headaches and nosebleeds. Yeah, nosebleeds from power sources and stuff. So I was sitting there talking to someone about that, and about I was the debunker, as a kid when we go and we didn't have EMF detectors. We would just use our, a, a recorder, and hey, did they hear anything come back? Yeah, okay, all right, let's ask it this. And if you got nothing back, you would rewind it and ask it different things and stuff. So there are certain things that we did get an answer, and you go, all right, because you had tapes. You just go to Radio Shack and buy a 10-pack of tapes. Before there was stores that had everything you need, you went to Radio Shack. And Radio Shack would have everything that was needed. You need blank tapes, then Costco came in and all the other ones followed. Instead of spending $1 per tape, you can only spend 25 cents. Jesus Christ, that was like cheap as hell. And they came with folders with it. My dad was so excited. He showed me that you can buy twice as much from his store than what I was sitting there saying at Radio Shack. And it was sad to see when they went under. It really was. This was the last place here. I almost thought it was like, it was like, oh my God, there's a Radio Shack here. I used to go in it just because of the fact that it was still there. Now Verizon, where we have our Verizon store, is where our Radio Shack store used to be. Mm-hmm. That's where Crump's they had a Radio Shack. They did have, as far as I'm concerned, if you're a nerd and you were growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, you would want Radio Shack. That was your to-go place, It was. I grew up around there, so when my dad turned away from Radio Shack, he said he was doing a project, and back then you could find a Radio Shack, about 5 or 6 of them. They're family owned. A person bought the right to have the Radio Shack name, and what would happen is you get a family running it. You'd get the mom and dad. They would open up the store, and usually you would get their son, who whatever age it would be, just at the age where you could hire people, and he would work part-time. And then you would get like either his friend or someone else, and you get 2 part-time workers, and pretty well you didn't have to pay out any benefits or nothing, because you hired part-time workers that were nerds and had no life and really didn't mind, doing those things. So that's what I've ever noticed, is they would hire part-time workers that didn't cost very expensive. And by the time they became 18, they moved on. A lot of times the stores got so tight, it was a mom and dad, and they were really like, wow, things have changed. What happened was Radio Shack should have gone. I don't know if they went online a long time ago, or if they looked at the competitive prices. That was what was killing them, is people were buying the stuff on Amazon and going to those price club places, and they were killing Radio Shack. All those places killed them, and then Walmart finished them. So I got stuff to put away when I get done with this show. More or less, it's because I can only eat so much and I make enough for more than that. So what I'm going to do is put it in the kitchen and ask my son if he would like some. I don't want, see what happens is when I do share it that way, unfortunately, sometimes I get stuck with only 2 days worth of food and I spend a lot of money on the meat. This time I only spend a certain amount on the meat because then I know what to expect. So I'm going to more or less just try to um, get what I can out of it and put it away. So I'm just letting it cool down now. So, God dang the burping spiders. Yeah, burpee, burpee, burpee. Yeah, burpee, burpee, burpee. I just name all my spiders burpee because I know sooner or later they're going to be burping at my place. Thank you for the thumbs up. Feel free to chat right over here. Yeah, I a while ago realized that as much as they need, like prenatal vitamins, they need vitamins for older females like me. That's not prenatal, and that would help with their cognitive thinking. So I started taking these vitamins, and they made me feel a whole lot better, a whole lot. And it helped me concentrate, listen, and not jump the gun at work, and to take things a lot easier, not to get all panties in a bunch and, you know, thinking that stupid shit. I really, it's the best money to put down. So I started to feel a lot better. Who knew? But they asked you get a free gift each month when you order your vitamins. It's my what that sounded like the door opening or whatever weird. It was like so yeah, it's helped out a lot. And this month was, a month of oh, shut up and just watch. Get that popcorn ready. Like my grandma used to say, you want to get involved. You want to be the watcher. You want to get that popcorn and watch the bad shit happen to all the crazy people. Really, Grandma? Well, you must say that a lot to my mom. Good Lord. My grandma always had popcorn cooking. Grandma, you must know something's going to happen. Let's go get that popcorn. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. So it's better to be sitting back and watching the show that you really weren't invited for. So that's what I've been doing. Boy, it's been fun. I'm not going to tell you my commentary at all. I talk to myself and I make myself laugh. Trust me. I mean, I'm divorced, still see my ex every day. He must really love it. Most men would have said, you can rent out the house because he would have known I wouldn't fuck him over. Shit. The only people I fucked over is the ones that he pretty much, I was with him, so hello. I've never fucked anyone over. So yeah. All he could do is say, hey, you can rent out the house, you can fix up the house, whatever, I want to fix it and we can probably even get more for it. But, right now I just don't have the money. Yep. It's just not there. Mm. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this coming week. Oh, crud. Oh, that cleaned that off. I'm going to have to sweep that. Well, I needed a new one anyway. So, yeah, I am enjoying my stuff. My collectors. Oh gosh, I gotta blow my nose. Oh, oh yeah, that's what I gotta do. Ugh. I'm gonna put a suggestion in for a mirror. Yeah, there's no mirror. It's like I have no mirror, so I'm gonna put a suggestion for a mirror. That's what I'm gonna do at work. That's my biggest thing. My suggestion for a mirror. So yeah. Mm-mm. There's to you. So when you're dealing with, we're talking about ghost hunting, a lot of times use what you're feeling. If you do not feel comfortable going into a room, a space, a parcel of land, don't. There's something telling you, stay away. It's not safe. I mean, I don't know how many times I've, said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm just walking from this particular area. And it turns out fine. It's when I go against the grain and I end up hurting myself. Usually it's not from like spirits or anything. It's from my asinine self hurting myself. So staying away could be meaning I just don't get a really big bump on my leg or something. Now, I always tell people we're all psychic to a certain extent. You all know when you hear something, you know, you don't have to overreact. You just kind of, understand they were once living, and in most cases, they were spirits. Like they were people like us, living and hoping for better and trying to find a significant other, just like us. Now, when you're dealing with certain things, unexplainable shit that's on your video camera, that's blobs that are having a heat signature, they could be a small animal. Yeah, I gotta blow my nose again. I'm just gonna get the whole Kleenex box. So yeah, it's pretty it can get really weird. It can get scary, and nothing can happen. You can spend the whole night out there getting nothing, and then the next weekend you go out, and it's like the ghosts are coming at you from every which way but end. You know? So when you have that, it's like I tell friends, don't be surprised if the first night you're out and nothing really happens. You'll have a couple, but it peters off to nothing, and you're out there 4 hours. You go back, and you're like, crap, it sucks. 4 or 5 days later, you go back out, boom! It's like, you're getting all kinds of shit. It's the same area, same space, same everything, but different time. It was enough to, you know. So yeah. Well, I should put something on my lips. They look kind of dry. Yeah. So it could be fun. You can play practical jokes. Those are fun. Yes, I do play them, and I'm just such a sucker for doing show. Yeah. So I am hoping that this suggestion will help you. You can get the EMF readers for about $13 to $14. I just checked on eBay. I talked somebody into buying one because they said, well, I really can't. I've been trying to save up money, and you know, um, he likes to ghost hunt and stuff. And I said, dude, it doesn't take much to buy an EMF reader. And, if you get enough people on YouTube, you only need 50 people, and boom, you could go live, really. And I said, you can go live on your cell phone, you know. He's like, got an EMF reader? You can go in the daytime or whenever, you can get out and you're not working. And just bring a couple of your friends, have your friends with you. That's how it was started with Ghost Adventures. They were just friends and they were doing it on YouTube. About the time, it was like early 2000s. They were out there, in Detroit, in my neighborhood. Yeah, so this is someone who brought his friends and they came along. I remember watching him on YouTube. My son was the one who started. He goes, look, there's these new ghost adventures. Of course, you go, where's the eye candy? So I'll say, oh, there it is. Okay. I'm not stupid. There's eye candy there. I'm not going to say. I'm good. So let's have some more smoke come up. But I know some friends of mine that are going through some hard times. John has been going through some hard times. He was really excited when he first started serving. I have served people for many years, and it's a very hard, it's a job that you really don't make a lot of friends. And if you do, that means you get along with everybody. Because I usually got one or two friends per shift to hang out. When I worked over at, I think I got more than what I handled. I thought I could. I worked over at Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant. That was not my first job, but I was excited to get it because, oh wow, I went there for my birthdays. I had so much fun time. I did. A fun time. I was 18. I got to drive my dad home. But it was more than that, I just felt this I always wanted. Boy, be careful what you wish for. When Chi-Chi's first opened up, it was at the height of everything and it was amazing. It was a place that you went to go and take your first date, you asked someone to marry you there. You did all kinds of crazy stuff like that. We had a guy when I worked at the Olive Garden asked, to marry her, and had it videotaped. Oh my God. Oh yeah. And in between that, you had to be what you had to work well with everybody. You had to be a gopher. You pretty much had to deal with a lot of what I would call some jealous, creepy people that you wouldn't in regular life ever talk to, but they're servers and stuff, and they work around they're kind of catty. They're not, in other words, usually they're not your friends. They're just not people you want to get, super close with. You're not going to be hanging with them after work. So he had a hard time dealing with that. And the only reason why I even dealt with it was I had I had my son Devin. My ex never could get a job. I mean, he would have a job. His job lasted as long as a sociopath's job in a normal place would last, which is about 3 months. So it lasted him 3 months, and it would take him 6 months to find another one. Finally, I put my foot down and said, If you don't get a job, I'm going to go on welfare and I'm going to leave you. I can't deal with this shit. I really meant it too. I wasn't joking. I just got tired of it. And that's when he got one of his first pretty good gigs, what I call it. It was longer than 6 months, it was over a year. But it took him a year to more or less wait for things and stuff because he had his other gal pals there that he played with. But at this one job, oh boy, that's when the owner's son's fiance was on the, yeah, he gave up a job where he could have stayed there. If they had to move, just do the same shit, but he could have stayed there. And yeah, he gave that up. The owner's son called. The day he called in, he told me, and he got himself up, got himself ready for work, and left. The thing was, I didn't have to do a thing, which I was like, he was like, oh no, hon, I'll do it. Super sweet. Oh yeah, I'm giving so and so a ride. We're going to go drive through Hines Park, which is makeout lane, is what my dad called it. But yeah, and then the woman he picked up, her significant other, which was my significant's boss, yeah, the fiance he was picking up, didn't need to be picked up. Her car's been ready at the shop for 2 weeks. Yeah, she used that as an excuse to get into somebody's pants. And you see, when you don't say no and you tell your boss, hey, if you lose your job because you told your boss that she's playing with everyone else's private parts, then that's, but he never did. He lost his job just a week before Thanksgiving. That's the slap in the face. That really is. And when somebody's done that way, there's a reason why. My dad even said, so what did he do? Oh, I sure did. I got a lot more done than what I thought I would. You know, I ordered my vitamins. It makes me get shit done. More or less, it makes me focus. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll start on a project, and then I start thinking, and before it's like butterflies. Oh, let me follow them. Whereas when I'm taking, it's like not medication. It's just vitamins that keeps me more focused. And I'm like, when I smoke a lot of weed, oh, fold close, just focus on fold. The bad thing is, a lot of times I don't remember where I put my shit when I do it high. Yes, I had a wonderful week in Cary. So yeah, pretty well. That's the way life goes. Yeah, the weekend was great. As far as I'm concerned, I got a lot more done than what I thought I would. I didn't think that I would even go out yesterday to finish what I needed. I really needed my vitamins, so I'm like, And I need to have so I could pay for my. I love my. I pay for having my wonderful. Uh, well, I like to watch movies and stuff, so I don't have. I spend $30 a month on HBO Cinemax. So that's what I usually do. And I can watch Ghost Adventures on HBO Cinemax. I love that. I'm like, yeah. So if you have a good ghost, hunting story, you went and you and your cousins were playing around. What usually would happen is, this is before we would bring EMF detectors. We'd get a, you know, cassette recorder thing and put it in, and we'd walk to a place and we'd ask it questions like, you know, when did you die? The usual stuff, you know. And sometimes we would get answers. Of course, we never reviewed them. Someone's stoned and too lazy. It's amazing how we now can get not just watching a video and replaying this stuff, but now when you watch Ghost Adventures, they know right away what the ghost is, the entity is saying to them. Hey, hi, they have all these neat gadgets and doohickeys and stuff, and it's just so amazing to see all that. And oh, the funniest one, I'll tell you, I think the funniest one is where one of the guys got laid by a ghost. Yep, they got laid by a ghost. I can't make this shit up. Well, hon, what'd you do today? Well, apparently the ghost didn't like the boss man because he's a bit too cleaned up. But me, I look like a rock, like a roughhouser type of the man that they deal with. So, yep, it was me. I got laid by a ghost. Oh, God. Yep, that was the funniest one. I'm sitting there watching it over and over, going, "Oh my God!" Well, then share another time. I'll try to, what I want to do is I'm going to ask my son for my EMF detector and see if he'll go with me, and we'll go behind my house because I've seen some weird shit. I've woken up on what I did one time, we got to go home early. So I went home and went back to bed. That's what I did. I went back to bed and I woke up. It was it would have been about around the time that I get home. So I have there's this in my backyard, kind of a little bit higher, it's a dirt pile. I stood up on it and I'm watching the backyard and I'm looking and I'm like, you're like the WTF scenario. I don't got my cell phone, but I'm seeing something that should not be there. No, it wasn't Slender Man. It was just something that should not be there. It wasn't in my backyard. It was in the 10-acre behind my house. And I'm like watching this going, okay, because I don't know what it was, I can't speculate because it could be anything. And that's where I'm at on that. So I want to go with one other person so I can check this out. And don't forget to put a thumbs up. It really does help. Yeah, yesterday I had a really big bowl full of cornflakes and a lot of milk. Oh, I've been paying that price. Well, it's almost done with an hour. So, yeah, I've been wanting to go behind my house after what I seen a while back. I don't know what was back there. It looked like what they talk about chupacabra or whatever, like. Oh, it looked like a furry creature on four legs that is going really fucking fast as a car, and I'm like watching it and you can see the dust pattern and I'm like, oh, no one else notices it. I'm the only asshole in the neighborhood that sees it. So I'm thinking, maybe I'm just seeing things. If I'm not videoing it and showing somebody, then I'm not going to believe it. That was one fast thing. Don't want the papers to fall out. Them snotty rags. So, here I am smoking with you guys. I remember when I used to get high with my friend Christina. We never wanted to sleep in the same room. She would always be in another room. It was real weird. I've gotten high with her. It was like we didn't want nothing to do with each other. Oh my God. It was really weird, but I'm not into women, so it didn't surprise me. Usually I wanted her to shut the you know what up. You know what? I just thought of something funny. I think I'm going to buy some Twinkies and give them out at work. You want my Twinkie? Oh, you don't want the Twinkies? Want my salted nuts? Nice and salty. My salted nuts. Want my Twinkie? My salted nuts? So there are some dangers, which is wear appropriate shoes, not flip flops, closed toe shoes. where you can walk around comfortably. Go with friends that are responsible and don't get drunk, like right out of the way. It's fun to have that one drunk person, especially if you go live and they don't say nothing. But boy, when you turn it off, they're just yapping away. Oh, that's fun. And yeah, we'll go and get that one. That's always, I heard a friend of mine say it was like you hear people talk about being live and turning off the live, and that's when the shit hell happened, and they were like, oh crap, you should have seen this. We've been videoing for 4 to 8 hours or whatever, and they talk their shit, and there'd be all kinds of stuff going on. Or a lot of times that happens when they do fake it. You do have some ghost hunters that were called out for faking it, and I used to follow them. I used to think, oh, this shit happens. And a lot of it, truthfully, it's like really weird. I haven't seen nothing from them. I'm not going to name them, but I used to follow them. It was until they did this one where they had an indoor swimming pool, and it was a place that needed its own generators and everything. They pretty much made their own electricity. So yeah, I'm really excited about the new week. I'm just not happy with the way I feel. I got a summertime cold. Well, it's almost that time, and I'm high as you know what, and I really can do for a little nap before having to go to work. Or at least, kind of. I like to clean up a little bit, watch a little boob tube, well, I watch a little HBO Max, and go to bed. I gotta put this stuff away. That's the only thing I hate about when you make a big bunch, you gotta figure out where to put it. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for talking here. I want to thank Carrie. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Feel blessed. Know if you have a place to live, even if it's not your own, you're not living on the streets. Be feeling blessed that you're not having to deal with street living and that kind of thing. Be happy that you have people that love you. You are loved. There's so many people that would not be happy that they're not on the street. They want to get in other people's lives, or they just have what you call chaos in theirs. I went out with a guy who, after 2 weeks, started. It was too much drama. So, no more drama. I'm pouring into myself. I'm in love with myself. God dang, I'm here. Oh man, I thought I sprayed them. Oh well. Better out my mouth than my butt. So that's the way I look at it. We have 5 minutes. So when I was younger, I would see a ghost in the house that I grew up in. I would see this little girl, and I'm like, wow, what are you doing here? Well, you're looking for your parents. They're up in heaven. Did you go up in heaven? So after a time, I just kept telling her, go up in heaven. She has no excuse. Go up there. Boom. So one day, I quit seeing her. And I'm thinking, well, maybe she actually did. So when my siblings would use that room, I'd ask them if they seen a little girl. Oh, no, we never seen any. I go, oh, maybe she actually did go up because the only ghost that was seen was on the stairwells. And the only ghost that I knew of upstairs was a little girl. So there was like a ghost on this. It was like near the stairwell or whatever. Well, I'm enjoying my last fill up here. I want everyone to have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Be grateful. If you are not living on the street, be grateful. Know that there are people around that love you. It wasn't really too hot. It was just from cooking in here, it got hot. Oh, yep, a little bit more. Yeah, it's something when you actually go in the field and you're dealing with that. I did more so before all this electronic age, and I had more of a blast. But they got all the stuff that's out. You want to get it. But the EMF is pretty well cheap. When they were selling it about 5 years ago, god damn, it was expensive as all can be. It really was. It was about $30 for something that now you can get it for 13. So I'll let you guys go. Keep a prayer in your pocket and love in your heart. I love you. Omega.